Hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the session of another. Welcome to the another session of interview preparation. Okay, my name is Ashish Singh, and today we will discuss about SQL questions. Yesterday we have discussed approx 16 questions. Okay, uh, so once we get through this, let me repeat once. So what is DBMS? Okay. So what is DBMS? A database management system is a program that controls creation maintenance, okay, database rather than saving it in the system. And what is RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. It stores the data into the collection of tables, which is related by common fields between the columns of the table. Okay. It also provides relational operators to manipulate the data stored into the tables. Example, SQL Server. And the third one we have, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is used to communicate with the database. This is a standard language used to perform tasks such as retrieval, updation, insertion, and deletion of data from the database. Standard SQL commands are select. Mostly we are using select like select star from table name where that dash dash dash. Okay. So next one we have discussed yesterday. What is database? So database is nothing but an organized form of data for easy access, storing, retrieval, and managing of data. This is also known as structured data, which can be accessed in many ways. Examples are school management database, bank management database. And fifth one we have discussed what are tables and field, which is very important. Okay. So a table is a set of data that are organized in a model with columns and rows. Columns can be categorized as vertical and rows are horizontal. A table has a specified number of counts. Okay. Example of table field data. And we have discussed yesterday our sixth one. What is primary key? The very important question. So a primary key is a combination of fields which uniquely specify a row. This is a special kind of unique key and it has a input not null constraints. It means primary key values cannot be null. Okay. And what is a unique key? A unique key constant uniquely identified each records in the database. This provides uniqueness for the column or set of columns. Okay. A primary key constant has automatic unique constant defined on it, but not in the case of unique key, because there can be many unique constants defined per table, but only one primary key constant defined per table. Okay. Next is what is foreign key. Foreign key is one table which can be related to the primary key of another table. Relationship needs to be created between two tables by referencing foreign key with the primary key of another table. Okay. What is joins? This is a keyword used to query data from the more tables based on the relationship between the fields of the table. Okay. Keys plays a major role when joins are used. And what are the types of joins and explain. So there are various types of joins which can be used to retrieve data, and it depends on the relationship between tables. Okay. First one we had inner join. Inner join return rows when there is at least one match of rows between the tables. Okay. And right join returns rows which are common between the tables and all rows of right hand side table. Simply it returns all the rows from the right hand side table, even though there are no matches in the left hand side table. Okay. And we have left join. Okay. So what is left join? Left join return rows which are common between the tables and all rows. Okay. And all rows of left hand side table. Let me repeat once. Left join returns rows which are common between the tables and all rows of left hand side table. Simply it returns all the rows from the left hand side table, even though there are no matches in the right hand side table. Okay. And we have last one is full join. Okay. What is the work of full join? It combines the result of both left and right outer joins and returns all rows from the tables on both sides of the join clause. Okay. So this is, we have full join and outer join. And our next question was, what is normalization? Okay. So what is that? Normalization is the process of minimizing redundancy and dependency by organizing fields and tables of a database. The main aim of normalization is to add, delete, or modify field that can be made in a single table. Okay. And what is denormalization? Denormalization is a technique used to access the data from higher to lower normal forms of database. It is also process of introducing redundancy into a table by incorporating data from the related table. That was called denormalization. Now, what are all the different types of normalization? Okay, so we have discussed yesterday first normal form 1NF. Okay, this should remove all the duplicate columns from the table, creation of tables for the related data and identification of unique columns. Then second one, we have second normal form 2NF, meeting all requirements of the first normal form, placing the subsets of data in separate tables and creation of relationship between the tables using primary keys. Okay. And third one, we have 3NF, third normal form. This should meet all requirements of 2NF, removing the columns which are not dependent on primary key constraints. Okay. And the fourth one, we have 4, we called as 4NF, meeting all the requirements of third normal form and should not have multi-valued dependency. Okay. After that, we had it yesterday. What is a view? So what is it, friends? A view is a virtual table which consists of a subset of data contained in a table. Views are not virtually present and it takes less space to store. View can have data of one or more tables combined, and it is depending on the relationship. And what is an index? An index is a performance tuning method of allowing faster retrieval of records from the table. Okay. An index creates an entry for each value and it will be faster to retrieve data. And yesterday we have discussed the last one is, what are all different types of indexes? So there are three types of indexes. First is unique index. This index does not allow the field to have duplicate values if the column is unique indexed. Unique index can be applied automatically when primary key is defined. Okay. And cluster index. This type of index reorders the physical order of the table and search based on the key values. Each table can have only one cluster index. And third one, we had non-cluster index. Non-cluster index does not order the physical order of the table and maintain logical error. Okay. So today we'll start from 17th question, which is called as, what is a cursor? Okay. Please give me your answer on chat box. Yeah. So what is the cursor? Okay. Let me write it. A database cursor is a control which enables, okay, is a control which enables traversal over, okay, the rows or records, the rows or records in the table. So this can be viewed as a pointer to pointer to one row in a set of rows. Row in a set of rows. Okay. So cursor is very much useful. Very much useful. For what? For transferring such as uh, transferring transversing. Okay. Or traversing. Okay. Such as retrieval. Okay. And addition and removal of database records. Okay, let me give space here. Yeah. So what is a cursor? A database cursor is a control which enables traversal over the rows or records in the table. This can be viewed as a pointer to one row in a set of rows. Cursor is very much useful for traversing, okay, such as retrieval, addition, and removal of database records. That is called cursor. So now move to the next question, that our 18th one. What is a relationship and what are they in SQL? Okay. So what is a relationship? Uh, Database relationship is defined as the connection between tables in a friends between tables in a database. Okay. So there are various databasing relationship. Okay. And they are as follows. So first one we have got 1-to-1 relationship. Okay. Second one we have one-to-many relationship. And third one we have, sorry, many-to-one relationship. And the last one we have self referencing relation. So these four relationships, types of relationship we have. Okay, let me delete this one and move to the question number 19. What is a query? Please respond in chat, friends. So, what is a query? A D a DB query means database query. Okay, is a code written, okay, in order to get the information, the information back from the database. Back from the database. So query can be designed in such ways, okay, designed in such a way that is matched with what? Our expectation, okay, the result set. Simply we can say simply a quotient to database. Okay. So what is a query? A database query is a code written in order to get the information back from the database. Query can be designed in such a way that is matched with our expectation of the result set, simply a question to the database. Okay, like select a star from table name. We are writing like this. So this is a query. Okay. Now move to the next question. What is subquery? So what's that? What is subquery? A subquery is a query within another query. Is a query within another. Okay. The outer query is called what? The outer query is called as main query. Okay. And inner query is called what? Subquery. So subquery is always executed. Okay. Always executed first. And the result of subquery subquery is passed the onto the main query. to the main query. Okay, so that is called a subquery. A subquery is a query within another query. The outer query is called as main query and inner query is called subquery. Subquery is always executed first and the result of subquery is passed on the main query. So that is called subquery. Okay. So okay, let me leave that here and we'll move to next question. That question number is 21. Okay. What are the types of subquery? Does anyone know that? Please send me your answer in chat box. What are the types of subquery? So there are two types of subquery. Okay. What we have, first one we have correlated. Okay. So what is that? A correlated query. Okay. Subquery, sorry, not a query. It's a subquery. Cannot be considered okay, as independent query. Okay, but what? But it can refer the column. Okay, and refer the column in a table listed what in the from the list FOR from the list of the main query. The main, what is that? We have correlated and non-correlated. So first one we have correlated. A correlated subquery cannot be considered as independent query, but it can refer the column in a table listed in the from the list of the main query. Okay. And we have second one is non-correlated. Okay. So what was that? It can be considered as independent query and the output of subquery and the output of subquery what are substituted. Okay, substituted in the main query. Okay friends, we have two types of subquery: correlated, non-correlated. What is a subquery? We know that a subquery is a query within another query. The outer query is called as main query and inner query is called subquery. Subquery is always executed first and the result of subquery is passed on to the main query. Okay, so let me delete this one. Now move to the next question, 22. what is a stored procedure? So, what is a stored procedure? Stored procedure is a function consists of many SQL statement, okay, to access the database system. Okay. Several SQL statements are consolidated into a stored procedure. Stored procedure and execute them whenever required. So, friends, so question number 22, what is a stored procedure? Stored procedure function consists of many SQL statements to access the database system. Several SQL statements are consolidated into a stored procedure and execute them whenever or whenever or sorry or wherever is required. Okay. So now move to the next question. Is trigger. Okay. Please respond your answer in chat box. Okay, friends. So, what is a trigger? So, a database trigger is a code or program that automatically execute with response to some event on a table or view in a database. Okay. Mainly, trigger helps to maintain the integrity of the database. Like example, I will tell you. Example, we have when a new student, okay, sorry. So yeah, when a new student is added, added, okay, to the student database. Okay. So then what? New records should be created, okay, in the related tables like what? Like exam, okay, comma score and attendance tables. So this is the example. Like when a new student is added to the student database, new records should be created in the related tables. Okay. What is a trigger? Let me repeat once. A DB trigger is a code or program that automatically execute with response to some event on a table or view in a database. Mainly, trigger helps to maintain the integrity of the database. Okay. And this is the example. So we know the trigger also. Now, move to the next question. This is a very important question, friends. What is the difference between, okay, what? Delete and truncate commands. Please send me your answer. So, delete command is used to remove, okay, delete command is used to remove rows from the table and where, where clause we are using, right? So where clause can be used for conditional set of parameters. Okay. So commit and rollback. It's capital. Rollback can be performed after delete statement. But in truncate, we cannot. Let me write this. This is for delete, and what truncate do? Truncate removes all rows from the table. All rows from the table. Okay. So truncate operation cannot be what, friends? Rolled back. Okay. In truncate, once you remove the row, always permanent remove. But in delete, we can use with the help of commit and rollback, we can get our data. Okay. So this is the difference between delete command and truncate command. So now, next question. What are local and global variables and their differences. So first we have local variable. Okay, local. What is that? A local variable are used to store data during the batch execution period. Okay, the local variable can be created for different data types and can also be assigned values. Additionally, variable assigned value can be changed during the execution period. Okay, and we have global variable. What is that? Global variable are the variables which can be used or exit throughout the program. Same variable declared in global cannot be used in function. Okay. Global variables cannot be created whenever that function is called. So this is the difference between local and global. Now, the next question. Our next question is, what is constraints? Okay. So what is a constraint? Constraint can be used, okay, to specify the limit on the data type. The limit on the data type of table. Okay. So constraint, sorry, can be specified while creating or altering, okay, while creating or altering the table statement. Okay, and the sample of constraint are what? First one we have not null. Okay. Second one we have check. Okay. Third one we have default. Fourth one we have, sorry, default. Okay. Unique. Or we have primary key. And what is the next, friends? I think you know the answer. Foreign key. Okay. So these are the sample of constant, not null, check, default, unique, primary key, foreign key. Okay. So these are the constraints. So now we move to the next question. What is that? Is data integrity. So what is that, friends? What is data integrity? Hmm? As I can see, no one is giving answer. Okay, no problem. So data integrity, okay, defines the accuracy, the accuracy and consistency, okay, of data stored in database, of data stored in database. It can also define integrity, okay, define integrity constraints, okay, constraints to enforce, sorry, to enforce business rule on the data when it is entered into a application of database. Okay, friends. So what is data integrity? Data integrity defines the accuracy and consistency of data stored in database. It can also define integrity constraints to enforce business rules on the data when it is entered into the application of database. Not application or database. It's not off. Okay. Now, next question. What is auto increment? So, what is that auto increment? Auto increment keyword allows, sorry, it's not 29. Auto increment, okay, keyword allows the user to create a unique number to be generated when a new record is inserted into the table. Okay, so auto increment keyword can be used in where friends? Oracle and identity. Okay. Keyword can be used in where friends? SQL server. Okay, so that is called auto increment. So mostly, okay, mostly this keyword can be used, okay, whenever, oh, mostly this keyword can be used whenever, what friends? Primary key is used. Okay, most of the time. So what is auto increment? Auto increment keywords allows the user to create a unique number to be generated when a new record is inserted into the table. Auto increment keyword can be used in Oracle and identity keyword can be used in SQL Server. And mostly this keyword can be used whenever primary key is used. Primary key we have learned there, right? Where it is primary key, it is very important question, friend. The other one, sixth one, what is primary key? Unique key, foreign key. Okay, so we are going to end the day here. Okay, and tomorrow again we will meet and we will continue the questions after question number 28. Okay friends, so have a great day and we will meet again in the next session. Thank you so much guys. Bye.